स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Let us bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God Incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. Let us bow down to Mother and pray to her, O Mother, be loving and gracious to your children. We humbly beseech, sprinkle in our hearts arid, oh, a drop of love to enjoy peace. Sri Ramakrishna, the teacher of the world, and Mother Sharada, Goddess Divine, we hold your lotus feet in our heart and offer our salutations to you again and again. We will be celebrating Holy Mother Sri SaradaDevi's birthday in this month on 17th, which is Sunday. We will be having special bhajan and special worship. And Mother's birthday is one of the most important celebrations we do all over the world. Today's topic, Sri SaradaDevi, extremely simple, supremely great. That is the uniqueness of Sri SaradaDevi. To know this special character, one must study in depth the life of Holy Mother, very carefully, attentively and devotedly. If you are seeking peace in the heart, if you are praying for help, if you are praying for some hope to conduct yourself in this life, you must come to Holy Mother. Holy Mother herself has said, in a very natural way, she felt for the whole humanity. She knew very well that she was the mother of the whole universe. And she has come to this world in the form of Sri SaradaDevi to give us glimpses of the divine qualities, such as compassion, love, simplicity, purity, forbearance. All these tremendous qualities are fully manifested in Sri SaradaDevi's personality. So she has said, well, my child, when you are in crisis, when you are in great distress, when you feel you are utterly hopeless, when you are in utter depression, just remember me. Just call me, oh mother. Please come to my rescue. That's enough. I will take care of the things. You will never have to lose hope. You will never have to worry on anything. Once you have come to the mother, it is mother's responsibility to take care of the child. When the child is near the mother, she doesn't worry at all anymore. The question doesn't arise. The very fact that the child is on the lap of the mother is enough for the child to be happy and peaceful. And here is mother's life, who is trying to flood the children with her love. In fact, this love was the divine attraction which she possessed to the maximum extent. We have heard in the scriptures that Divine Mother is full of love and compassion. In order to see the authenticity of this statement, we must study the life of Holy Mother. How she was totally free from ego. It is totally absent. No egoism there. That's why she is extremely simple. That's why God manifested in full measure in her. In fact, Sri Ramakrishna refers to Holy Mother as his own real power. Brahman and Shakti. Sri Ramakrishna represents Brahman and Holy Mother Sri SaradaDevi represents Shakti. This blending of Brahman and Shakti manifesting in this world as Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother, it is simply unique. So, we have to concentrate our attention on the most noble life and most simple life. At the same time, highly elevated spiritual life of Holy Mother. We should study with all concentration. Then you will see, then you will feel and experience what peace means. So, in SaradaDevi, we find all the good qualities which the woman should have. In fact, her special mission was to awake the womanhood all over the world. Awakening of that Stri Shakti. It is incomparable. It is sublime. Sri SaradaDevi is called as Holy Mother because of her wonderful qualities, both human and divine. She showed through her exemplary life. This human life is a stepping stone to divinity. If one has to realize the truth, one has to come to this human life. But you must live the spiritual life properly, then you will rise to that divine level. So her remarkable kindness, her extraordinary forbearance, and tremendous patience, they are really remarkable and wonderful. There's absolutely no difference between Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother. They are one and the same, like upwards and reverse of the same coin. If you are worshipping Sri Ramakrishna, you are worshipping verily Holy Mother. If you are worshipping Holy Mother, you are verily worshipping Sri Ramakrishna. So we must remember that without the Master's grace, we can't get the Holy Mother. Just as without Holy Mother's grace, we can't get the Master. As I referred earlier, Sri Ramakrishna is veritable Brahman, Narayan, and Holy Mother, veritable Lakshmi, goddess of prosperity. Lakshmi is goddess of prosperity. Not simply in the material science, not simply in the materialistic point of view, but from the spiritual point of view. She is the goddess of prosperity, spiritual prosperity. No doubt, she is the goddess of material prosperity, but more than that, spiritual prosperity. Wherever you see prosperity, then the presence of Lakshmi is there. So, if we pray to her, she will show her grace to move fearlessly in the spiritual path. Just we should remember her, everything will be all right then. And the special quality of Holy Mother, Janatapahara, the dispeller of the distress of people. People are undergoing all sorts of sufferings in the world. Holy Mother soothes the parched hearts of the people. There is a remarkable incident in the life of Holy Mother. Once a woman belonging to a respected family, she had committed something wrong through some evil impulse, and she was in a very bad condition. Her mind was upset. She was totally depressed. She felt as if this life had no meaning for her. In fact, she even tempted to suicide. It happens when you can't bear the emotions, you tend to commit suicide. Well, somebody brought her before Holy Mother. Holy Mother, she had not seen her before. For the first time, that lady has come to see Holy Mother. The first meeting itself had tremendous transforming effect upon that person. The lady said, "Oh mother, what will be my lot? I am not fit to come near you. I am not fit to enter this holy chapel. I have committed something great blunder, a heinous crime, sin. I am ashamed to show my face to you." But what was the mother's reply? She didn't attach any importance to what she was telling. On the other hand, she wanted to purify herself, purify that lady. So, out of her infinite sympathy and kindness, out of her infinite affection, she just hugged her. She embraced her. She touched her. That mere touch was enough to purify her whole system. The whole mind was washed away of all sins. It became spotless. Mother said, "My child, you have realized your fault. You are repentant. That's enough. Don't worry anymore. I am assuring you, don't worry. Come, I shall lead you in a spiritual path which will make you tremendously glorious, and you will attain remarkable peace and happiness. You will never get into that kind of restlessness anymore. Come, I shall initiate you. Lay everything at the Master's feet and cast away all fear." That was Holy Mother. Is it not great? Mother who had not seen that lady showing so much of love and affection. That is spiritual love. That is the indication to show the greatness of Holy Mother. Her simplicity, at the same time, extremely great. She is supremely great because she is totally free from ego. She was not asserting herself, "I am the Divine Mother." She was not ordering, she was not commanding. Everything she was manipulating through love. That is Mother. Consequently, she suffered. She was aware of the cause of the suffering. Yet she didn't hesitate to bring comfort to anybody who would approach her as Mother. Sharanagata Sevaka Toshakari. Holy Mother is a giver of contentment to those who have surrendered. What is needed is just you have to surrender unconditionally, without any reservation, without any guilt. Just surrender as you are. So that is the way we have seen in the life of Lord Krishna. When Krishna was fighting with Kalinga's serpent, which was making the whole river Jamuna full of poison, and people would be afraid to go in that river. And Krishna went there and he fought with that serpent. Finally, the serpent surrendered. And of course, it surrendered on account of the divine touch of the feet of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna was dancing on the head of the serpent, Kalinga. And she surrendered finally, that Kalinga surrendered to him. After all, I am the serpent. What do I have? Nothing but poison. So I am also under your creation. Then Lord Krishna did not kill him. He said, well, it's all right. You got a place to live on. Go and live in a distant place. Don't cause any suffering to the people who come here. You got a place, you can live as long as you want to. You can live happily. Go a distance far away from this place. So that is the way how the incarnations help. They help. That's the quality. Helping always. They always try to help. They always try to give. They always try to shower love and grace. That's the beauty of Holy Mother. As I said, she was extremely simple. Simple in every respect. Simple, extremely simple in dress. You can see what Holy Mother was wearing. Just simple cloth. So, that is the beauty of Holy Mother. She was simple, at the same time she was pure as the lotus in the lake. In Sanskrit we have got the word for simplicity, it's called arjavam. It also means uprightness. So, if you try to be simple, free from ego, you will be very near to God and you get the grace of God. A simple man is always humble and the humble man is always simple. So, that's the way how the simplicity takes us towards the spiritual goal. Of course, you must have spiritual aspiration. Without that, simply remaining simple but not doing any effort for your upliftment, then the life goes away without achieving anything. But all the good qualities must be used up in a proper way to achieve the goal. The goal is to realize God, to realize your own true self. That's the point. On one occasion, sometimes Holy Mother would disclose her real personality. Rarely she would say, but anyway she has said, I am the primordial power, the mother of the universe. Do you know why I have assumed this body? Out of compassion. In order to give solace, peace to the people. I have been born in every epoch in the past. I shall be born too in the future. These are the words of the mother. And if you study her life, you see, she constantly prayed for the total effacement of her ego. That's why she has been described as a personality of rare quality, a personification of simplicity. Her language was simple and natural, and her conduct spontaneous and unostentatious. She was so simple, it would make people come easily to meet her. they would not feel any hesitation to come to talk to Holy Mother. That is the beauty of simplicity. Saulabhyat. Sri Ramchandra, it is described, was like that. Everyone in Ayodhya loved Sri Rama. It's because everybody had an access. Anybody could go and talk to Sri Ramchandra. And Sri Ramchandra would immediately greet anybody. Before he received that person's greeting, he himself would offer his greeting. Sri Ramchandra was noted for his remarkable virtues. And this simplicity was one such. And Holy Mother was like that. Anybody would come. And she herself has said, anybody is welcome. Her doors were always open. Always open. Anytime they may come. Her love was flowing towards all. It inspired reverence, but never a feeling of remoteness. So divinity, purity, all embracing compassion, utter selflessness and simplicity, they were all blended in her personality. They were so nicely manifested in her. Regarding her simplicity, there is one more incident which I would like to tell you. It happened in Benares. She was sitting with Golapma, a great devotee, and some other devotees were also present there. The visitors would come and bow down to her in order to get her blessings. Once a lady came there. She did not know who the Holy Mother was. She came to offer her salutations. But when she came, she has to find out who is the Holy Mother. And Holy Mother and Golapma were sitting together. Golapma had an imposing personality. And this lady visitor thought probably she might be Holy Mother. So just she went near her in order to touch her feet. Immediately Golapma took her feet back. What are you doing? Go there. See her. And then lady, she was confused. Then, Golapma is directing her to go there. And she walked towards Holy Mother. But Holy Mother quietly indicated by her finger that Golapma was the one she was looking for. See, Golapma was pointing to Holy Mother and Holy Mother was pointing to Golapma. It was a great puzzle. So again and again, she began to go here and forth, back and forth like this. Then finally, Golapma said to that lady in a very sharp way, "What? Can't you distinguish a divine face from a human one?" That's all. That gave an awakening to that lady. And she found she who was sitting by the side of Golapma, she was the Holy Mother. Completely simple and full of grace and charm of the mother's face. Everything that lady recognized, and she touched her feet. So that is a way. Holy Mother, she is the consort of Sri Ramakrishna, the master of spiritual qualities, the great master. But she was not proud. My husband is godless person, so everybody should regard me with due respect. She would not command like that. On the other hand, she proved herself equally great to the great master. Great master and great Sharada. You can't even compare them. Who is more great? You can't do that. Many times it appears Holy Mother looks very great than Sri Ramakrishna. Because everything she would do silently, without showing anything. Because her love was so much, she would go beyond the limits to help anybody. In fact, some of the disciples who were being trained by Sri Ramakrishna, they would come and Holy Mother would feed them. Sometimes as a mother, they would love to feed the children. She gave one or two more rotis. And Sri Ramakrishna called Holy Mother and said, look, if you feed them like that, what about their spiritual practices? They become tamasic. You should not give more. Then Holy Mother immediately said, please don't say that. I will take care of their spiritual. I will take care of their spiritual life. After all, they are taking a little more food. And Sri Ramakrishna appreciated her feeling. And Sri Ramakrishna knew very well that Holy Mother's protection is really great and nobody need to worry about. So, she proved her simplicity in such a way that because of her simplicity, her greatness was immeasurable. They were connected. They were inseparably one. Simplicity and greatness. And in her dress also you see Holy Mother, how she was very simple in her dress. So simple dress and modest in behavior are the prominent signs of great people. That's the point we should note, and that's the point we should recognize in Sri SaradaDevi's life. And regarding simplicity, we talk about simplicity in diet. She was extremely simple in her food also. So simplicity in food includes control of the palate. So discipline in everything is necessary. It is discipline that destroys all sorrow. Lord Krishna again tells in the Bhagavad Gita clearly, Yukta ahara viharasya, Yukta cheshtasya karmasu, Yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Who will be qualified to become a yogi? He who is moderate in his eating, in his habits, in his actions, in his sleeping and waking. In all matters, he should be moderate, simple. So, simple living and high thinking is the greatest ideal Holy Mother has given to us. She was extremely simple, but her mind was always thinking of God. Lord Krishna says again in the Gita, Sarvakaleshu mamanusmara. Sarvakaleshu. All the time, repeat, remember me. Holy Mother all the time was remembering the divine. She was constantly repeating Master's name. And that was very inspiring to the disciples, to the people who come for solace. Mother would say, well, have tremendous faith in the repetition of the mantra. We call Japa Yoga. Here is the example. Holy Mother has set an example how through Japa one can really realize God. One can see God, talk to God. I referred earlier, Holy Mother was pure as the lotus in the lake. She was so pure, and anybody who would feel impure, if they would come to her, they would feel they are purified. While instructing to Holy Mother in her formative period, Sri Ramakrishna said, "Be like the lotus, let the lotus of your character bloom." And we see how really Mother was living like a lotus, perfectly pure. There is an interesting incident in Mother's life. It happened that one day the cook touched a dog, and immediately he felt he is not pure enough for doing any work in the kitchen because she has touched the dog. And the matter was reported to Holy Mother. It was very late in the evening and it was cold, and it was not advisable for the cook to take bath at that very late in the evening. Holy Mother advised that she should wash her hands and feet, let her change her clothes. That's enough. And still he would not feel happy about that. And he was feeling discomfort. Then Holy Mother finally said, "All right, you call that cook here." That person came. The mother said, "Touch me. That will purify you. You don't have to worry about that imperfection anymore." Once she touched her, she immediately felt that she was highly blessed, and all that ideas in her mind were taken out. So that is how Holy Mother is the personification of purity. And she was expressing her qualities of divine in such great measure, it would give a new life to the people, as it were. There was a person who was very poor. He was just wandering in the streets of Calcutta searching for a job. Finally he got a small job at the Udbodhan where Mother was living. His family was in a village in East Bengal. Because he was coming every day to do the work in the publication department in Udbodhan, she came in contact with Holy Mother, and he began to receive her love and blessings. And whenever the person would come to Udbodhan, Holy Mother would ask him to take prasad in the ashram. So, by that way, the person came in close touch with the ashram and Holy Mother, and slowly his condition was getting improved and he was feeling happy. But suddenly he heard a shocking news that the village was flooded by the river and his home was washed away and the family was in great trouble, and he was totally upset and he lost his appetite. He could not sleep. He was full of tension and stress. He was almost mad, suffered a lot in that terrible condition. When that person came to Holy Mother immediately took steps to help him. Holy Mother herself collected at that time about 300 rupees. She collected from the devotees and she called that man, gave that amount to him, and to go to the village and to make some arrangement for the family. This help was done at the correct time when he needed most, and that was as if a new life was given to that person. His name was Chandrababu. Afterwards he came back. He was very happy and he was overwhelmed by mother's compassion. Whenever he would narrate this incident to his friends, he would shed tears in his eyes. His voice would choke with emotion. His heart would be full of love and devotion for the Holy Mother. And that is the great quality of Mother. She would always try to help and show compassion to everyone. There was another lady, a youthful lady. She came to see Holy Mother. It was Kali Puja day. You know, Kali Puja is done in the night. Number of devotees had come, and after some time Holy Mother called that lady and he told her to return, and on the way she should go to Nivedita school to meet somebody. And that youthful lady asked whether she could go by a vehicle. Anybody would drive her, or she should walk all her alone. Anybody is coming with her, or she has to go alone. Holy Mother replied her, no, you have to go alone. No vehicle, go by walk. This is the instruction. Go by walk, go alone. And Mother said further, if you depend on others, when do you cultivate self-dependence? See? The first step in the power of strength is to depend on one's own help. Help thyself. Holy Mother is directing that youthful lady to cultivate that self-confidence. We call Atma Vishwas. Fearlessness. Holy Mother's instructions had such tremendous effect on her. She walked through the distance all alone, and there was no trace of fear in her. She felt really confident in herself. Previously she would hesitate to go anywhere. Always should be troubled by fear. But now Holy Mother gave her the instruction in such a way that she can build up her self-confidence. Another day, Holy Mother was doing japa. There were many huts were there where the laborers would stay. One day it happened, one of the laborers, for some reason, was beating her wife recklessly. Continuously he was beating. And that lady had a baby in her hand. Not only beating, he even was kicking her. Beating and kicking both together. And that lady was crying and crying. She was crying for help. Anybody to help me? She cried loudly, and Holy Mother heard that voice. She stopped japa. She went out. She came down. No, she didn't come down. She stood up in the terrace, and she uttered in a loud voice. She told with so much vehemence, "You wretch, do you kill your wife?" Mother said in such a way that the laborer who was beating her immediately stopped beating, left the spot. After some time that fellow was cooled down. He came back to his wife, consoled her, repented for his show of temper. All these things happened. And Mother had to tell very decisively, in a way instructing that person not to beat or kick like that. That shows the Holy Mother's antasattva. I am referring to Holy Mother as the ocean of power, ocean of strength. Shakti Sindhu, Sri Sharada. Shakti Sindhu. So, that is the way how the Divine Mother was helping the people in different ways. Even in her family, household, lots of her brothers and cousins and nieces, they were all there. They were all worldly. Nobody ever thought of spiritual life. Holy Mother herself would say, what a misfortune. Even for fun they won't ask anything that is spiritual. They want always money, money, money. They want money. They want nothing else. And Mother tried to help them whatever they want. If they are not ready for spiritual knowledge, she was not forcing them to take up the spiritual knowledge. But she was ever ready to give spiritual knowledge to those who seek. And there is another incident which shows her remarkable presence of mind, her innate spirituality, her innate purity of heart. Purity is like a fire. See, Janaki was so pure in her heart. Why she was so pure? She was all the time repeating Rama. That's the secret of her purity. All the time, even in sleeping, she would repeat Rama's name. She had become so pure. In the final scene of the episode, when Ravan was killed and Vibhishana was to be enthroned, and Janaki and Rama had to return to Ayodhya. Just at that point of time, Janaki had to undergo a fire ordeal because she was living in the precincts of Asuras. So some kind of impurity might be there. But she was like a lotus. The lotus is on the water, muddy water, but it is not stained with the mud. Even though Janaki was living surrounded by the Asuras, she was not tainted by any impurity. But that was how to know that. The tremendous test, passing through fire, and she did really jump into the fire. And the fire god called Agni, he himself came lifting her up. She is very pure. Fire cannot burn her. She is the purity incarnate. So purity is the strength, the super strength. There is no strength equal to purity. If a person is pure, he is more than the fire. So here you see the purity of Holy Mother. It is so eminently manifested in her. And there is an incident which tells this fact. Once she was walking with friends, with some group of people, in order to go to Calcutta to meet Sri Ramakrishna. But she could not walk fast. All the other ladies, the group, they were all walking quite fast, and she was walking. She was left alone, and it was evening. It was not safe because in those days the places were occupied by the robbers and dacoits. So, but what could be done? She was just walking, even though it was dark, and immediately she was confronted by a dacoit. A ferocious guy was threatening and coming near her. But Holy Mother never lost her balance. She never got upset. She was not afraid of anything because her mind was always thinking of the divine, always repeating the Master's name. That was her strength. And when that dacoit was coming near her, she just called him, "My father, I am your child, and I have lost the way. Will you please show me the way to go?" The way how she uttered these words, it had tremendous effect on that robber, that dacoit. All that poison was taken out, and he was transformed in a way. And that dacoit and his wife, they behaved like the parents of Sri SaradaDevi. They took care of her so lovingly, and they escorted her up to Tarkeshwar, and where Holy Mother could join her group. So in this incident we see that through her remarkable power of love, power of purity, the dacoit's life was changed. The dacoit became a spiritual aspirant. And because he was dacoit, he was not just pushed away from her love. No. Even dacoit is under the orbit of her love. Sajjan, Durjan, both are her children. That's how mother feels. And there's another instance where Holy Mother showed her exemplary character of her purity and strength, the spiritual strength. This happened when Holy Mother was 32 years old, and there was a disciple, a devotee. His name was Harish. For some reason, his mind was working in a different way. Like a mad person, he was behaving, because he had put some type of drug in his food. On account of that effect of the drug, he behaved in an erratic way. Holy Mother was returning from her neighboring home. Before she could enter her home, this person chased at her from somewhere. Holy Mother began to run in the beginning, and then she became exhausted. Then she thought, this is not the way to handle this fellow. So she stood firmly. She made him fall down on the floor. She sat on his chest and slapped on his cheeks. That slapping suffocated him. Thus Holy Mother exhibited courage and boldness and faced the crisis. And Holy Mother life, we see, they say they compare Lakshmi's modesty. Lakshmi is noted for shyness, lajja, and Kali for bold and courage. So both are required. And Sri SaradaDevi is both Lakshmi and Kali. Sri Ramakrishna himself refers to Holy Mother as Lakshmi and Kali. And Sri Ramakrishna knew that Holy Mother is none other than the Divine Mother Kali. That's why he worshipped her. He worshipped Holy Mother as Tripura Sundari. Shodashi Puja, it's a very famous incident. So, the most striking quality in Holy Mother is that her Matru Vatsalya, a tremendous love towards the creation. And he would initiate everybody who would come to her, and everybody would have place in her heart. So, what we need is just we have to surrender to her, then we become recipient of Divine Mother's grace. And Mother would forgive anybody's faults. She would always dwell upon the good qualities and exemplify them. So she exhibited all these qualities in her life, and her teachings also are very ennobling and uplifting. She used to say, you become pure by repeating the name of God. The less you become attached to the world, the more you enjoy peace of mind. The ties of past karma are cut asunder by spiritual discipline. Just surrender yourself to Him, you will feel then His grace. She was referring to Sri Ramakrishna, and she would tell, Sri Ramakrishna is veritable God, just remember Him You don't have to worry at all. If you do not pray to God, what is that to Him? It's only your misfortune. One must experience the result of past karma. None can escape it. But japa or repetition of God's name minimizes its intensity. It is like the case of a person destined to lose a leg, but instead suffers only from the prick of a thorn in the foot. If you do good action, it will counteract your past evil acts. Past sin can be counteracted by meditation, by japa, and by constantly thinking holy ideas. Can you achieve anything without effort? Even in the midst of your busiest life, you must find time for your prayer. These are all Mother's teachings. Unfailingly do your duties to others, but your heart you must give to God alone. Worldly love always brings in its wake misery and more misery. Live carefully. Every action produces results. Don't use harsh words towards others or cause suffering to them. If you have no kindness, how can you be called a human being? You must rather make others joyous. Do not trifle with anything, even if it be very insignificant. Respect a thing, and it will respect you. Perform even the smallest work with great respect. Don't expect that dangers and difficulties will not come to you. Don't expect that dangers and difficulties will not come to you. They will, but if you are a devotee, they will pass away like water under the bridge. There is no other virtue higher than forbearance. Anyone can easily discover defects in others, but few can recognize merit. Learn to appreciate merit. Even the injunctions of destiny are cancelled if one takes refuge in God. Fate herself will cancel with her own hand what she has ordained for such a person. So these are some of the teachings Holy Mother has given to us. Just think of her divine qualities, how she was simple and how she was great. Though she was living amidst all household people, yet she maintained her spiritual dignity. Outwardly she was looking ordinary, but inwardly she was extraordinary. So the combination of humanness and divine both were there, properly blended in her personality. So let us try to meditate on her and receive her blessings. I request you all to come to Holy Mother's Puja on December 17th, Sunday. Thank you all. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunakto Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. May the Divine Spirit protect us, guide us, give us strength and right understanding. May we not hate one another. May love and harmony be with us all. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. May the Divine Lord protect us, May He nourish us. May we work in harmony with great vigor. May our study be illuminating and fruitful. May we not hate each other. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.